Hello, Just Between Friends Springfield. I'm Sherry Wiley, and I am here to train you on how to be an inspector for the inspector team at the Just Between Friends sale for Springfield. I have some notes to go over with you in how you're going to inspect the consigners' items when they come to our station to put their children's clothing into the sale. Again, my name is Sherry Wiley. I've been with JBF for a very long time, probably 15 years doing sales. And so this is my area that I help at the sale with. And so I'm going to train you on how to do it. Our main objective and the privilege that we have as inspectors is to look at the quality of clothing that is coming in from our consigners. And then we decide if it is going to pass inspection to go into the sale. I'm assuming that you are a consigner or have consigned before, and that you know how you've consigned or how you've inspected your items. And so therefore you're going to use the same care and details in inspecting items for other people. We are usually dealing with first-time consigners, or usually second, third, fourth, pretty new consigners. So sometimes they just miss some details when they get to our station that would help them make more money, things that they can do to keep their items on the hanger, or just things they overlooked because, you know, we all have dealt with the fluorescent lights, right? So anyway, the first thing is that you will want to inspect their clothing with the same care and detail that you've used to inspect your own clothing. Keep in mind that you are also a shopper. So I want you to look at the item, and not only is it hung properly, but is it something that you would buy? So that's kind of the determining factor when you are confused if you're going to take something or not. Is it something that you would buy and the quality that you would want to buy it for the price that it's priced at? We want to just make sure that we are keeping our sale with the highest integrity as far as like what we're taking. So that way people want to continue to come back and shop our sale. We want to make sure that our items are great quality and at a great price. So first you'll be assigned a station, and you will have supplies at your station. You will have scissors and some flagging tape and extra safety pins, maybe a pen, in a little basket on your table. There'll be two of you working at a station together. And I should have about 5 tables. So I like to try and keep 10 inspectors going at a time. Sunday night is going to be the busiest time for drop off, and we will be pretty steady throughout that whole evening. Monday tends to taper off a little bit, and we can take a little more time and care, but your objective is to be fast, but also thorough. And I know when you've looked at so many items, sometimes you go cross-eyed and kind of just can't see things anymore. And that's why I like to pair you with a buddy, so that if you can't see something or you're not sure, you can, bounce it off the person that you are with. Then I'll assign you a consigner, and they are going to come up to your station. They're going to put their stuff right next to your table, right next to your spot. You'll have a rack right next to you. They can hang their items on the rack, and then the rest of their items, they can put, like the other tubs or boxes or whatever they have, can go underneath the rack. The main thing is that I would like to keep the aisleway free and clear so that people can get through. It's always kind of tight between us and the racks. So we want everyone to be able to get through with their wagons. So if you can encourage your consigners to kind of scoot up to the table, put their stuff either under the table or under the racks, and then hang anything that they're going to be inspecting on the rack next to you. You are also going to encourage them to run any items that they have that are not children's clothing items, because that's the only thing we need at our station is children's clothing items. They can go ahead and run them out to the drop zone while you get started. So if they have shoes to put away or toys to put away, or anything else over in baby or in the other gym, they can go ahead and hit those drop zones while you are starting on your inspection. Thing to keep in mind while they are hanging their items up on the rack for you to look at, make sure that you are being mindful of the way that they have their items sorted. So since we have asked consigners to pack their boxes in a way that is hyper merchandised by size and gender, we want to make sure that we are honoring the way that they have sorted out their things. So you might check with them before they go put their other stuff away and make sure that you know exactly how they have their stuff sorted so that you can respect that. It is their job to put their items away. So as soon as they are done putting away things at the other drop zones, then they need to come back to see you and they need to start running their clothing out to the racks. You can come up with whatever system you want to as far as putting things away and like what you have inspected and what you haven't inspected. Some people like to alternate hangers. So like everything with the hanger this way is stuff I'm looking at, stuff this way is for you to take. So you can kind of come up with whatever system you want. Some people don't even like them to hang it up on the rack. You just want them to go straight to the table and then you will put on the rack the stuff for them to put out. Whatever system you come up with is fine. I just know that a lot of people like to alternate the hangers so they know like what you've looked through, what you haven't looked through. Always make sure that when you are pulling stuff that is not accepted, that you are putting it in a separate spot where you can get back to it easily. And then I like to keep those sorted out by season and by stains and tears and that kind of thing. That way they know what they cannot bring back to the next sale and then the stuff that they can bring back to the next sale. Let's see. Once you start on their things, have them hang them on the rack and communicate that. Let them know that they need to be putting their stuff away. Okay, when you're doing the actual inspection, so this is a 2-piece outfit. You want to make sure that stuff is hung correctly. That's the very first thing. You want to check for season because you don't even need to inspect it if it's not in the right season. So if it's something that we're taking, go ahead and inspect it. Once it's laying flat on the table, you're going to check the shirt and you flip it up on the back side. Always check the back of your item. Sometimes people like to strategically place tags. Sometimes I would check under the tag or, something that would conceal a stain or a spot. So make sure that you always check the back. While I'm checking the back of the shirt, I would also be checking the back of the pants or the skirt or whatever the second piece is. I would definitely check the rear ends of things. That's where there tends to be a lot of stains, like kids fall in mud or on the playground or whatever. And then once you cleared that, flip it over and then check this other front side. You're going to make sure that it is hung with the hanger facing the left, like a question mark. You want to make sure that they've used cardstock on their tags. You want to make sure that it's pinned on the right. You want to make sure that they've used an appropriate hanger, like a wire hanger or a tube hanger. You want to make sure that if they used a tagging gun, this is very important. If they used a tagging gun, it has to go, especially like this is a tagless shirt. The tagging gun has to go through this top part right here, or it has to go in the armpit or in a seam on this side. It needs to still be on the right hand side if they've used a tagging gun. If they have put tags on their stuff through shirts and things, please come and get me. We need to educate them on how to do that in a better way. We are not able to accept those items if they have holes, so we'll need to re-tag their stuff. Let's see, we also want to make sure that all the buttons and things are attached on their items. So this has a zipper, so we want to make sure that it's zipped. Onesies need to have the buttons snapped. Button down shirts need to have those all the way buttoned up. Footy jammies, we want to make sure all outerwear has a working zipper, so please just check it. And all the things need to work. We don't want missing buttons or anything like that. Let's see. If any of the above are like a big deal, like somebody used all department store hangers, just come get me. Since we're working with a lot of new people there, sometimes it's so much information. You guys know what it's like to be brand new. So we just want to educate them on why we do what we do. We want to let them know that, the reason we use wire hangers is because they will last 7 days full of shopping at the sale. That's why we like to use the tube hangers. Why it's important to use quality safety pins, because once you get a lot of denim, you'll see why. You want to make sure that when they're hanging pants It's at the top. It's not a deal breaker if they don't hang their pants correctly, but if you show them how to do it, they'll know how to do it better next time so that things don't fall off the hangers, because if you've shopped jeans, you know it's tough. So we just want to honor the work that they've done, because you know it takes a lot to get here. It takes a lot in money and supplies. It takes a lot of your time. You're trying to work around your kids, all that stuff. So we want to make sure that we're honoring the consignor and their work, but we want to make sure we are also educating them so that they can do a little bit different job to help them make more money next time. And that's just if any of that stuff isn't correct, or, you know, if they could do something better, and just come from a friend perspective, because we treat each other like friends at JBF. And so, hey, let me just tell you, friend to friend, this little tip or trick worked for me. I'm sure it will work for you. Let me share that information with you. Let's see. Once you're checking your items, you want to make sure you're checking for cleanliness. We don't take any stains at all. All button zippers need to work. Make sure you're checking that. No tears, snags, holes, or anything like that. If you're working with someone who has a lot of baby stuff, the fluorescent lights are not forgiving. They are going to illuminate all the spit up stains, all the formula stains, all that stuff. It's all going to come out. And we've all been there, and we've all had lots of stuff not accepted because of the stains from that sort of stuff. It's just the way it is. Sometimes you can take it home and wash it and it will come out, but for the most part, it's just stained up. So we won't take all that. Make sure you're checking around the neck, down the fronts of the bodies of the onesies, for those kinds of things. For baby stuff, I also like to check the inside legs of onesies for blowout stains. We don't want to sell any of that stuff. You guys want high quality things. Check the knees on jeans. I understand distressing is very popular right now, but if it is actual distressing from the manufacturer, it will be consistent or in a way that is easily recognized that it came from a manufacturer. If it is overly worn in the knees, we don't want to take that. Or obviously jeans that have holes in the knees, we don't want to take that either. And then again, always check the back of your items. Check for strategically placed tags. I know sometimes toddlers like to chew on their shirts, so check for any kind of dirt and stains for those sort of things. This is the spring sale, so I'm looking for spring and summer items. I want to make sure that the print is spring or summer. I want to make sure that the fabric is spring or summer. So we're not going to take anything that is going to happen past August, because that's when our next sale will be. So I will take anything that happens from, you know, as far as like holiday wise, like anything through the summer, like 4th of July, Memorial Day, all of that. But Christmas, we are going to be past St. Patrick's Day. If somebody does come by with a St. Patrick's Day shirt, I will take it. All Valentine's Day needs to come to the fall sale. So kind of look for those things. Any kind of winter Christmas dress, those things need to come to the fall sale. If you're not sure, come ask me. Sometimes they can go either way, but you'll know by the color or the fabric. If it's velvet, it's definitely Christmas. Plaid is usually Christmas because it'll come in darker colors. So use your discretion on those sort of things. So make sure if it's in season. If you're not sure, just ask me. I will take jeans and t-shirts. I had a question about 3/4 length sleeve shirts. I will take those at all sales. Capris I will take at all sales. Let's see. I will also take athletic wear at all sales. The athletic wear that I take for both sales is the Drywick material. It can be long sleeve or short sleeve. Or shorts or pants. It has to be the Drywick material. It cannot have a fleecy lining for the spring sale. Obviously for the fall sale, that's fine because you'll need warmer stuff. But for the spring and summer sale, I want you to make sure that it doesn't have a fleece lining. We do not need to inspect costumes, any sport pants like baseball pants or football pants. We don't have to inspect that. We do not inspect dance wear. There's a recall that's been going on for a long time with the drawstrings in hoodies, like if it's a hood and it has strings on it, we cannot accept that for children's sizes. So they will need to be pulled out and cut by the consignor. For juniors, we will take that, but it is a recall for children's items only. I have not had that happen in several sales, but I want you to know in case you encounter a hoodie or something that has a drawstring, we don't take that. For the spring sale, I realized that babies are kind of a different breed because we like to dress them warmer. And so I will take long sleeve onesies, pajamas, sleepers, and pants that are in a lightweight knit fabric or a spring and summer print and colors. I will take those for this sale up to 24 months. So anything over that really needs to come back at the appropriate sale. But if it is spring and summer, for the fabrics and whatever, for the little babies, we will take that. And then it will flip-flop for fall. We will take only the fleece stuff and for the appropriate fall stuff. Also for the fall sale, I would take sport shorts, athletic only. It has to be a sport, like running type short in sizes 10 and up only. I would not take shorts in the fall otherwise. And it has to be an athletic short. It won't be like a walking short or dressier shorts or any other shorts. It would only be an athletic short. Let's see. We are also, for the items that we are not accepting, at the end, after you've checked your whole consignor out and you've looked for all of these things, you'll have some items that you are not going to accept probably. There will be red, like a kind of like an orangey red flagging tape at your station, and you will I like to bundle them by groups of 10, just because it's easier to manage. It also helps you count for the girls at the other station when the consigners pick up. You will wrap the flagging tape. I like to go through the hanger if you can, because it kind of keeps things better together. If you go around the hangers, they tend to slide off, but you can do it either way. But go through here if you can, 10 at a time. There will be a rolling rack for you to put those on. The consignor cannot take those. They will pick them up at step 4, and either myself, my designated runner, Diane Twigger, who will be with me, we will need to be the ones to do it, or you, the inspector, can also run that to step 4. The reason is because you're giving them something that we are not accepting, and if you give it to them to go around to step 4, sometimes they like to go through the racks and decide that they didn't agree with you and they think it should go out anyway. So we don't want that to happen because we've already taken the time to inspect stuff. So we are going to respectfully ask them to pick it up at step 4 after someone takes it to step 4. Ideally, if I would write like myself, Diane or myself or my designated runner to take it. I would like you to stay at your station so that way they can clean all of their stuff out of the way for the next person. So you'll just hang this stuff on the rolling rack once it has the flagging tape, and then we will run it to step 4 for you. You can tell the consignor once you are done, let them know where it's at. If you see things on their clothing, it is easier for you to show them what you saw than it is for them to ask at step 4. So if you see that she's kind of like not sure why you're not accepting something, go ahead and tell her, point out, say, hey, I know you just missed the spot, whatever. If it's something that, just didn't make it through the wash or something, they can always take it home, wash it, and bring it back tagged as long as that item is cleared to do it. But one of us needs to run that stuff to step 4. Excuse me. So once they have picked up their items from step 4, they're done. Make sure that you have them continue to run all of their items out. We don't have runners, but if I happen to have extra help, I will assign people to help run for the consigners, because we want to get things going and get people moving through our section as fast as possible. So just go, once they're done, have them clean all their area out and then run their clothing, and then we'll get you set with the next person. So I know it sounds very overwhelming and it's a lot of detail and information to take up front, but honestly, it's it'll come second nature to you with each item, and the more you do it, the easier it'll be. you can ask myself or Diane any questions you might have. Diane will only be there on Sunday night. I will be there all day Monday. And we're happy to help you. And I'm so glad that you're inspecting, because you learn so much and you get to see all the cute stuff that we're taking. So that's always fun too. You can kind of mentally shop as you're checking people in. But I hope you all have a great week, and we will see you this Saturday.